Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Kim and today I am doing another speed build. This one is a magical treehouse, and I know this one's been done to death before and there's lots and lots of magical tree houses out there, but ultimately this was my take on it. I wasn't going to waste any time thinking about some sort of special name for it, or I did have a think, you know, I thought, oh, could I think of maybe like a fairy tree house or a whimsical tree house, or I don't know. I was trying to think of a name and then I just thought, well, ultimately that's what it is. It's a tree house and it's magical. I don't know how it's magical, but it is. So last night it got really late. I had just literally uploaded my Black Widow creator sim and speed build video, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna do that tree house because I've got a list of ideas that I want to do, lots of builds that I want to do. My problem is having the time to do it. So I've had this list for a while, and a tree house is something that I've been dying to do really, because ultimately quite a lot of it is just landscaping and that's my favourite thing in the world to do. So last night when I came to do it, even though I had a rough idea of what I would like it to look like, I didn't really know where I was starting or how it was going to end up. And so I just went with the flow. Now, I know that lots of people have struggled to do the tree stump on the bottom, and that's because people are trying, well, fellow builders are trying to find a way to create the treehouse effect without the tree or the branches cutting too much into the interior of the building, because then it becomes unplayable really, or not a very enjoyable experience. So I just decided to just not have a tree stump altogether. I mean, I know there's a way to do it, but I just thought it would just be so much easier to do it this way. So I created a little rectangle across the bottom, which has a front door on the side, and you can just about see it there. I'm just placing some bushes around it, and I just kind of used a wooden paneling type of effect, wallpaper around it, and then ultimately just covered it in vines. And I thought even if I had used a tree stump, I would still have covered it up with landscaping anyway, except for this way it kind of works really well because they're going directly into the property straight up the stairs. So yeah, I was quite happy with the way that it turned out. I did place a couple of trees, and then I thought I'll take them away just whilst I do the building and the outside, and then I'll start to kind of like place the trees around as I go. Now, I actually did something which I don't even know whether it'll work on the gallery or not, but I did go into show hidden objects, and I found a sort of one of the trees that has these huge dangling type branches and leaves, and it just looks so nice. And I thought, I'm going to use that tree. So I did. I supersized it and then I put it in around the building, and it just gave this very drapey sort of look, and I really like it. I don't know if it will download okay off the gallery. I'm presuming it will, because I've had debug items in there before which there's been no problem with. You'll have to let me know if you do want to download it, or you do, whether it works okay, but I don't see why there should be any problems with it. So when I started to build it, I wasn't really sure what type of a building I wanted it to be, whether I wanted it to be a home or like a hangout area. In my mind, I thought a teen hangout would be fantastic, because in one of my Parenthood Let's Plays at the moment, Crystal's created this homework club, and that I think it's set to go to various cafes where they sit and do the homework. And I thought, how cool would it be to have like a teen hangout area like this? Like, I would have just been like totally amazed if I had a place like this to hang out when I was a teen. But ultimately, it is just like this house in a forest, so really thinking on it, it'd have been a bit creepy and weird. Plus there's a kitchen in there and there's just absolutely no way it'd have lasted 2 minutes. It would have probably burnt down. But, so as I started to do the interior, I thought, I might just build it for like one person or a couple. So I did put in a bedroom in the end, and that's how I've left it. But I don't know, actually. I think I might amend it, and the same again for you. If you do download this house, do what you want with it. If you want to make it into like a teen hangout area and you want to change the inside, etc., it'd be really, really good to see what you chose to do with it in the end. But it is very pretty. Where it's set in Windenburg, I absolutely love these tiny plots because the scenery is just, it's just amazing, really, really beautiful, and I thought this kind of place fits right in. Now it is a 2-storey building except for the top floor because of the way the tree hangs over. I could have got away with putting in the separate, I think I did at one point, I did put in the second staircase up, and I thought I could make some bedrooms out of that, but the tree didn't cut too much into the building, but it was enough to the point where if you were playing it, it would probably start to get annoying. So I thought, well, I'm just going to leave that like as an attic. I did kit it out with a wooden floor and some wallpapers as well. So if you did choose to extend into it, literally all you needed to do was put a staircase in next to the other staircase. But because I didn't really know where I was going with it, I thought, do I really need a load of bedrooms up there as well? No, not really. So I just stuck with the 1 bedroom downstairs. And I actually thought it was cuter to be a little bit more cramped and a little bit more cluttered just along 1 floor, as opposed to having the 2nd floor. But the good thing is it's there to extend and build into if you want to. And also, it would only take moving like 1 tree for you to be able to really comfortably use that 2nd floor as well. But what you choose to do is entirely up to you. So on the landscaping, I like to go quite detailed. I do think I'm quite a detailed builder anyway. I think I do kind of pay attention to the little things, and I always try and think as well, activities and skill building wise, what can I add on the outside and what can I add on the inside? And I do tend to do that a lot at the end of a build too. I'll go back and add little things in like a guitar or, you know, just, you know, easels, things like that. But downstairs on the outside of this building, I chose to add a few easels because I thought it's a very scenic area, and I thought I'll add some little ponds with some nice plants and some fancy lighting. And I think I've got a woodwork area there. I've got like one of those wood, what do they call it? Woodwork bench or something like that. I've got one of those, and I've got a little area where you can sit around like a bonfire. I thought that would be so cozy at night time, but then looking back, in real life it's probably quite a fire hazard. It would probably set the whole thing on fire. But we're not in the real world, we're in the Sims, so it's okay. But yeah, so I kind of like placed all these items, and then landscaping wise I started to then fill in all around the outside. Now I got a bit of a habit of going a little bit too over the top with landscaping. It's either your cup of tea or it isn't. Some people like quite a clean look, you know, they don't really like too much landscaping, but I am just not that type of builder. It's my favourite thing to do, and I, especially with this type of build, love to make it look really kind of, you know, magical is the only kind of word I can think of, really, like a magical rainforest. I once played this game, I think it was Wildstar, which, you know, I think everybody will know Wildstar, but when that was released and I had this like huge area, this plot to build, I built this kind of like magical forest garden, and I had my house plot in the middle of it, and I absolutely loved it. And you can change obviously like the different sky like, well, they're not wallpapers, but the sky effects and stuff like that, which created kind of like this moonlight, fairy kind of golden glow. And I went for a similar sort of effect, like lots of flowers, lots of pretty flowers, and lots of colour and charm. So I think the interior was the most sort of tricky, because the shape of the building, well, there was just no thought in it whatsoever. And there was part of a tree cutting through one section, which I didn't mind. I wasn't bothered about that. I think it kind of adds to it as well. And there's another tree that kind of appears through the side, but it actually looks quite good. But the shape of this building, I really struggled with. I think I actually cut out a good section of me trying to attempt to do the kitchen, because I was really struggling. It was just an odd shape, and if you build on an angle as well, the kitchen units don't always fit the same, and it can just end up being quite problematic. But I think I cut it all out in the end and decided to just do it in a completely different place altogether, and it slowly started to come together. Obviously I did decide I wanted to do like a teen hangout area, so I did start off with that in mind, and then as it developed I thought, well, if I'm going to upload it to the gallery, you know, I'm either going to have to pick it as being like some sort of cafe, which I couldn't add in. I probably could have added in everything, but I would have had to have added in like you know, cash register and all these kinds of things. I thought, I don't want to do that, so I thought I'll just add in a bedroom and I'll just make it into an apartment, like a housey type build. So later on you do see me build up the bedroom, and then I build up some walls, and it did go from being quite a studio effect to then being sort of sectioned off, so it's got its own little bathroom and its own little bedroom, and it's quite nice. I quite like the way it turned out. I don't think I could ever recreate something like this either, but for me they're always the best builds, the builds that you don't think about, the ones that you just use your mind and you go with the flow, and whatever you end up with was just pure chance, really. But I like it. I think the idea in my mind of what I was looking to create, I created it in the end. So I obviously went for quite earthy tones, lots of browns. I did think about recolouring it, maybe doing something a little bit different, but I did just want to do the, you know, a traditional tree house, and that is, you know, that wooden type of effect. Actually, when I was a kid, where I used to live, there used to be this passage that I used to walk down to go to school, and it was like a house with a corner plot which had this huge tree. And I remember the boy that lived there, his mum and dad built him a proper tree house. Like, it wasn't just a little rubbish one, like little Wendy houses that we used to get, or you could buy them pre-made. His dad went all out and made him the most amazing tree house in this tree, and it had this hatch and ladders that you used to go up these ladders, go through this hatch, and it was like something off a film. It was quite spectacular, and I always used to remember walking past this tree house thinking, man, you've got some cool parents. You are one lucky kid. Like, I wouldn't have been out of that tree house as a kid. Now, however, to be honest, as much as I think they look amazing, there's no way I'd want to go in one. I'd be too worried about spiders. So I have been playing around with some cinematics at the moment in my videos. I am doing a lot of chopping and changing with my video editing, so you will see some different things coming up in my videos which is different from the usual style, and I think that's just a given really. Everybody that starts YouTube starts off kind of like quite amateurish, and then, you know, you develop over time. So I really hope you like the way that this video has come across today, being different with the cinematic. I'm not really sure whether to put it at the beginning or at the end. I've still included a few screenshots at the end, but I do think it helps with the cinematic to give you a real good all-round feel of what the build looks like, because screenshots, some of the builds I've done, they just don't do it the justice that the build deserves, because some of them are on an epic scale, and capturing the whole sort of aura and feel to a build can't always be captured in a screenshot. So I thought this might be a different way to sort of spice it up a little bit and give you a bit more of the feels from my builds. So we're currently on Saturday at the moment, and it's my eldest son's birthday tomorrow. He is turning into a teenager. He's going to be 13, and I'm kind of a little bit emotional about it, really. He's been in my life my whole entire adult life, and yeah, he's changed so much within this last year. It's unbelievable. Time just seems to fly by so quickly. But I'm so excited to celebrate that. I'm off out to do a little bit of shopping in a bit, and he's off out to play with some friends and whatnot, or hang out. They don't play anymore. I've got to get it right. That's not cool. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to celebrating that tomorrow. But over the next few days, you'll see my new Black Widow challenge release, and also I will be continuing on with the Parenthood Let's Play, and obviously there's going to be speed builds in between. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a like and subscribe, and share with anyone and everyone, as it helps me to grow my channel immensely. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.